Master Chief 1, and welcome back to my Donkey Kong Country 2 Let's Play Longplay. And as you see, we are still getting through the next underwater level, which is actually called Clam City, and ironically enough, is named after one of the underwater enemies called, and God, had to be killed off by one of those dang chomps. Yeah, chomps. That's what I said, chomps. Anyway, it's named after one of the iconic underwater enemies for Donkey Kong Country called Clambos. Yes, Clambos. And as you can see, their main enemy attack is pretty much that they shoot pearls out of their mouths when you've already experienced that. Anyway, with any luck, yes, luckily enough, I didn't get hit by one of those dang chomps. Which chomps are actually a unique representation of that of great white sharks, I have to say. While Chomp Juniors look very similar to that of tiger sharks, actually. Which aren't actually, as people know, as lethal as a great white shark, but yeah, I don't know where I missed the K, but there we go. I completed another level. And now it's on to the boss of this level, which is actually another pretty simple to defeat boss. Yet I get killed, yet I lose Diddy Kong, stupidly enough. But don't worry, I'm able to actually hit Queen Bee with Donkey Kong, thankfully enough. And I get through this with the King of the Swing, which is, as plenty of people know, is Donkey Kong's nickname, the King of Swing. Banana da-da-da. And now it's on to the next level. And all I have to say is, man, I really do not, in my honest opinion, feel good about looking at this content right now, considering that it does remind me of what the temperature conditions were like yesterday. And really, it was pretty bad, some pretty bad temperature conditions for the last couple of days here in Michigan, where unfortunately I experienced temperatures in the 30s and to the 40s, even though it's late April, for crying out loud, or getting into pretty much late April for the most part. And it is such a shame I missed that one up, but oh well. Dang zinger. Zinger. There you go. I'm riding on the barrel down the snowy slope. And yep, here's another great example of environment changing, as you see all that great detailed snow that Rareware created when it came to the snowy levels here on Donkey Kong Island. Anyway, the enemy you just saw, the big blue enemy, that's another type of Kremling that's called a Crusher. A Crusher is supposed to be more dominant in its muscles rather than its brains, actually. And surprisingly enough, when it came to the Donkey Kong TV series, there was actually only one variety of this enemy. And, yeah, yeah, anyway, as I was just about to say, there's only one variety of, there's only one, Crusher in the Donkey Kong TV series, and, that Crusher actually only has, like, the intelligence of a 3-year-old or 4-year-old, surprisingly enough. And he's actually entertained by a little kiddie show, for crying out loud, when it comes to the Donkey Kong TV series, and, yet again, I blast off a ledge. And I do it once again. Anyway, yeah, and I'm assuming the crushes that are probably in this game, considering that they do seem just a little bit more serious, they probably have the intelligence of most likely a 5, maybe a 6-year-old at best, I'm assuming. Yeah, I just don't think that they're probably as dim-witted as that of the Crusher in the Donkey Kong TV series, actually. But yes, that's what the Crushes are, and technically, if you really want to know, oh yeah, this is a really cool secret you can actually do to be able to get through the very last little quarter of this level, I'm happy to say. But the thing about Crushes is that the only character that can take down a Crusher is Donkey Kong, and he has to jump on their heads. While as for Diddy Kong, the only way he can take down a Crusher is with a barrel like that with that of Zingers. Anyway, even though the Frozen levels aren't my favorite levels, I really like this level because it's so unique and beautiful because of all those shining crystals that you actually see in the background and all of the shining blue crystals that are actually near. And it's now a pretty understandable idea as to why the Kremlings and King K. Rool actually are dominating this snowy region of Donkey Kong's island. And yet again I didn't actually receive the award. And there we are with some annoying blue critters. Oh yeah, these enemies that you've seen previously before, they're armadillo enemies that are called I assume Army, if I'm right. Yeah, Armies. Right. Which is kind of a weird name. Yes, I understand entirely, but yes, and the thing about these enemies is that no matter what character you try to jump onto them, when it comes down to it, you're gonna need to actually jump on them twice because of their protective shell. No matter, well, actually, when it comes to Diddy Kong, you do that. For Donkey Kong, he can actually kill them off with a roll attack or even a single jump attack. But for Diddy Kong, you actually have to jump on top of them and then jump on them again in order to kill them off. Sorry about that. Anyway, yes, and a cool feature about this level is that you actually experience icy ropes, actually. And there actually is a different type of variety of icy rope that actually makes you slide down instead of sliding up like those blue varieties, which this is the variety. It's a purple type of rope, which is weird. Yeah, really weird, but oh well. It just adds on a little bit more difficulty when it comes to the level. I'll say this much, the audio lag isn't nearly as bad as that of Donkey Kong Country 3's audio lag for some reason. And I don't know why I experience audio lag for these old Nintendo games and for some Nintendo 64 games, for crying out loud. I really don't understand that at all. But oh well, I know nobody's really gonna care about it. So there's no real reason to try and match the audio up with the gameplay motions anyway, right? Considering nobody really cares, as I know when it comes to my Let's Plays, after seeing the first one with Crop. Yet I have to say it is so bad when it comes to my Donkey Kong Country 3 Let's Play, disappointingly enough, I must add. And yet again I get dead. Once again I lose Donkey Kong, but thankfully enough I'm just about through this dang level. I am pleased to say. I tried to see if I could get on that oddly enough rope that's over to the right side, but it's probably accomplishable, but I wasn't able to do it. And yet another level down. Why this is so hard to be able to reach while Donkey Kong is on Expresso's back, because really it's a pain in the... I think that's a real pain in the butt, in my honest opinion, that Donkey Kong is like so a little too heavy for Expresso in order to be able to reach something like that bonus barrel, for example. So I really thought that was pretty annoying of Rareware to do, especially. So, yeah, I do this, like, up to twice and then die quite a couple of times. Yeah, and I don't know why I did something as stupid as that, for crying out loud. Damn critter, damn Necky! Well, mini Necky, but you got my idea. Yeah, that's another thing. I'm happy to say that when it comes to those ever-annoying mini Neckies, that thankfully enough, Expresso the Ostrich can survive those too. Yeah, that's another annoying thing, but thankfully enough, yeah, I'm happy to say with Diddy Kong, there's another good thing. You can actually get up higher with Expresso the Ostrich when it comes to that ledge. But I still say that's pretty annoying. because it's really, of course in real life it's really hard to say, even if a gorilla or a gorilla could actually ride on top of an ostrich, and even for the sense of a chimpanzee, considering how violent and mean in real life ostriches are. And that one enemy you just saw, well, we did hear that funny, iconic reference made by Cranky Kong he actually gave his barrel away to somebody of relation to the Kong family. And what he meant by that was, it was a clever joke, meaning the Kong family member's distinct cousin, and actually an enemy in this game called Manky Kongs, which are actually orangutans, actually. Yes, I said which Manky Kongs are actually orangutans, and I guess it's just a funny way when Cranky Kong said that he gave his barrels away, was just a funny way of trying to say how in the world did the Manky Kongs actually get all those random barrels, which are actually orangutan cousins to the Kong family members. And thankfully enough, I completed the level yet again, and now it's on to the very next underwater level, which I have to say is quite lovely without a doubt. Yes, and if you're curious, the other enemies that I have not listed off, that jellyfish type enemy is called, they're called squidges, and as for the octopus enemies that you've seen already, they're called croctopuses. And once again, there's an enemy within this game that are actually a main driving point this time around, and in this case, it's the octopus enemies known as croctopuses in this case. And as you can see, the croctopuses, when they spin about, are invincible. Well, they, oddly enough, are invincible enemies like Plambos, even for on guard. And I have to say that is one thing that is actually a little bit actually separated when it comes towards the next Donkey Kong Country games. Well, I mean that the next two Donkey Kong Country games actually lack. And what I mean is the lack of completely invincible underwater enemies, even for On Guard the Swordfish, actually, is what I'm referring to. And I just said for invincible enemies for On Guard the Swordfish. I just am trying to ensure that you guys can be able to hear my commentary just a little bit better this time for this part, because I just want you to be able to hear absolutely everything what I'm just trying to say and things of that nature. Considering that when I heard my commentary for the first part of my Donkey Kong Country Let's Play, I know it was just a little bit difficult at some little regions because of the gameplay audio in general to be able to hear everything I was saying, actually. But I realize what causes my audio lag, and for some stupid reason with the Pinnacle, when it involves the Super Nintendo game and some N64 titles, for some stupid reason there happens to be drop frame rates that cause audio lag for some dumb reason. But anyway, yes, here's the secret area you can go to get On Guard the Swordfish for this level, actually. You can complete this level without On Guard, I'm happy to say, but it makes it easier. Yes, I'm pushing forward. It looks like Donkey Kong as well. I don't really to say it because you guys got the idea. A lot of you viewers already have the idea in your heads already, so yeah, okay.
Ah, at last, someone to chat with. You can find fun in ropey rampage between a hard place. Bounce on the fixed tires to hurdle obstacles and reach bonuses. I'm getting tired. I gotta take me a nap.
Of course you do, Cranky. Of course you do. Yes, and this is the introduction to, well, an animal buddy that you don't ride. You don't actually ride in this game, but he comes in handy for this one level. But as many fans of the Donkey Kong Country series and Donkey Kong 64 are aware of, he becomes a lot more handier, and you know, and people know him as Squawks the Parrot. Squawks the Parrot. And in this game, he actually holds a light. And, oh, man. Man, I should have chosen Diddy, which is really stupid. But yes, he holds a lighting fixture because it's real dark in this level, actually. Thankfully enough, this time about, I decided to use Diddy so I could get into the secret area. But despite my luck, I was not able to get that extra life that I really wanted. And also, we are introduced, aside from once again Crushes again, we are introduced to a new type of enemy that you saw, and yes, they look just as dim-witted as Crushes do, and they are probably still pretty dim-witted, as no doubt, but are actually a little bit more intelligent, even though they're actually fat, called clumps. Actually, and are another soldier of King K. Rool's army that appears more than once when it comes to the Donkey Kong franchise, and they are actually soldiers with helmets on, and the idea is that, well, they're actually a bit weaker than Crushes in reality. And the reason why I say they're a bit weaker than Crushes is that Diddy Kong can actually roll into a clump and kill them off, but he can't jump on top of their heads due to the helmet. However, Donkey Kong can kill them in any way he pleases, actually. And even barrels can kill off a clump. And yet we're introduced to another awesome treetop level, and unfortunately I have to disappointingly say that this is the last one, and unfortunately I forgot to grab Winky Kong, but thankfully enough we don't really need him to get through this level. Oh, what fun it is to jump around on those bouncy tires as we travel through the awesome treetop village. Oh yeah, and this is the final colored critter I was referring to. They're a light green variety of critter that can actually jump back and forth, and that's pretty much what they do when it comes to their jumping motion, is just jump back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. This is really the only level these light green critters actually appear in. It's a harrowing event as Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong have to jump past the in-place zingers when it comes to the high treetops that resemble the Ewok villages. Yet again, we are introduced to ran by the rhinos, bonus area. And with any luck, I'll be able to get a few extra lives. Oh yeah! Oh yeah, 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 yeah. What fun! Oh yeah! And now on to the boss, which is actually a pretty ironic reoccurrence again. As this time we're introduced to a brown Nante, which is pretty much what I'm really thinking to myself is Big Nante's brother. And unfortunately, I had to stupidly enough get hit by him with Donkey Kong, which is really not that tough. He just only jumps slightly higher than that of his brother, and it's a little bit tougher. But yet, I thankfully enough beat him with Diddy Kong. And here we are, onto an entirely industrialized area ran by King K. Rool and his Kremlin horde, actually. And you might be wondering, what does this factory produce? Well, that's easy. You just saw right there, they produce oil. Yes, they produce oil, which I guess this area of Donkey Kong's island is rich in oil, I guess, which shows that the Kremlings, aside from being a bunch of banana smugglers for some reason, which I don't even know what in the world they would even use Donkey Kong's bananas for crying out loud in reality, considering that crocodiles don't even eat bananas for crying out loud. Anyway, this area is actually really cool, considering that secretly there are actually 2 bonus areas instead of just one in this area. Yes, that's right. There actually is an extra secret area within a secret area, ironically enough. So yeah, that's just a silly double intake. And what's really cool about the second area, and it will be coming up as I mentioned, actually very soon. Now that I'll cut back to where I was. But it's really awesome when it comes to the second bonus area indefinitely. And if you can be able to spell out all 3 of the words that you need to spell out, which are ironically enough the words to the name of this video game, actually. But the thing of it is, just make sure that you hit just 3 single banana barrels. That's the idea. You gotta hit all 3 of these single banana barrels in order to form one regular barrel, and then jump up, so then that way you can get into this secret region. Anyway, the reason why this is so cool when you spell out each of these 3 words is that every time you do, you get an even higher 1-up balloon. Yes, that's right. So you can get an ordinary 1-up balloon, and if you spell out Kong right, you get a 2-life balloon, and even if you spell out country successfully, you get a 3-life balloon. Which, for me, I stupidly enough accidentally hit a certain letter just a little too fast by accident, which I could have gotten 3 lives, and you could have saw a 3-life balloon, which is a blue balloon, by the way. Thankfully enough, in my second Let's Play, you'll actually see 3-life balloons a lot more. I am pleased to point out. Where, considering Donkey Kong is no doubt the main character of this game, all the balloons look like Donkey Kong's head, which is very funny and creative, but you've already seen that, of course. And this is why I've been jumping in these gaps. I was trying to figure out which gap had ran by the rhino in it. thankfully enough, this is exactly where we need to go. Oh yes. And once again, I jump it. I blast as quickly as I can through these random barrels, but they don't give off too many good prizes, except for that Kong letter, which I, for some reason, missed my chance to get the O. O is for oil! Boy, this is stupid joke. Oh boy. Yes, and the main plot is, and there you go, that's a good idea. There's a good interpretation right there of a silly animation if you ever wanted to know what it looked like when a Kong is looking over the ledge or something. They do this silly cartoon animation where their eyes pop out, actually. And I have to say, there is actually something quite funny and entertaining when it comes to the boss battles in Donkey Kong Country 2, actually, when it involves eye popping. And you'll actually see that when I mention that for my Let's Play, I'm pleased to say. Yeah, if I would have gotten the O, I could have gotten an extra life, but oh well, there we go. I am done with the level, I'm happy to say. And once again, we are yet again introduced to one of these random moving conveyor belt things. A thing about these conveyor belts, these are similar to mine carts in the sense that you can't switch the character that you're playing as, actually, if you want to. Yes, that's right. Just like the mine carts, you cannot switch which character you want to play as when it comes to conveyor belts here. Which, thankfully enough, you only experience 2 of these conveyor belts, and this level is actually the one level that's not nearly as annoying as that of the next level with conveyor belts. Even though this level does have a few slightly annoying mini-necky regions, like this, for example. And I think the reason why, and I assume the reason why they did not assume that bonus barrel was accomplished, because I didn't ride the stupid conveyor belt, because later on, and as I complete this level, you'll see that I didn't get an exclamation mark, which an exclamation mark in this game, as a lot of players and viewers are probably already aware of by now, means that I did not 100% complete this little level. And I only just did that because I stupidly enough missed another bonus barrel. But thankfully enough, that time I showed it off. And introducing the second variety of the claptrap called the purple claptrap. And if you're curious, this is not the first time you will see a purple claptrap in the game, in the series, but the unique thing about them is that they jump. Which is the difference between regular blue claptraps. And unfortunately, I did not hit him enough in order to get the big prize he would reward you. This conveyor belt, as it's slightly slow and can be only a tad bit interesting due to the enemies that keep falling down on you, or that you keep keep running into as you're riding on this conveyor belt. Yes. And yet again we have to deal with one of these annoying manky Kongs that keeps throwing barrels along the ground and making your life even more annoying. But thankfully enough, I just cut to when I finally got back, and here we are with another crusher. To say, just even though you get a lot of extra lives, a thing that can be quite annoying about these animal buddy regions is that as soon as you complete them, you have to once again go back through a lot of the level again. Even though you've already gotten close to the end anyway. As you saw right there, I just about had reached the final bonus area. For the set level trick track. But I am very pleased to say I at least got 4 lives, which is pretty good. Yes, I'm Donkey Kong, and I'm pounding my chest, which I sometimes do, to show my dominance. Yet again I died. Oh, that's why. Okay, never mind about what I said. I guess I just I guess I just got annoyed and didn't do the final bonus region, which was down there, but you got the idea as to where to go if you want to accomplish it. Anyway, it's been done many times before in the past, so I guess one bonus area won't be too much of a disappointment for you, the viewers. After all, you exactly know in my Let's Play where to go to if you want to accomplish the game 101%, which I've done before as well. And again, I get hit by one of those stupid mini neckies. As I go through one of the final cave levels. And with any luck, I try to be able to spell out Kong, but yet again I do not. And Diddy Kong then hops on his hat, stomps up and down on his hat in frustration. Take that, you stupid annoying birds. Anyway, this enemy that you see that are popping out of these oil barrels, they're called slippas. Yeah, those snake enemies, they're supposed to represent those poisonous variety of striped snakes, which I forget what the exact name of this type of snake is, but yes, that's what a slippa is supposed to represent as an enemy. And they actually can pop out of these special types of skull and crossbone type of barrel enemies, which can only be destroyed by a TNT barrel when later on revealed. Yeah, that's their only weakness, is the TNT barrel. It's the only thing strong enough to kill off a an oil barrel enemy. I mean, they're not really annoying themselves. The only thing that makes them irritating is that they can respawn several different small varieties of enemies, and I did not know, and I don't know why I stupidly enough did not grab that rope. But thankfully enough, I show off. Finally, getting down here with one of the Kong characters, thankfully enough, and reaching this bonus area I was trying to do before. Which is a tad bit tricky, because you gotta dodge those zingers, but thankfully enough I was able to do it, even though I didn't collect all the prizes. But now we're gonna deal with a slightly, utterly frustrating and annoying part. An annoying part because we have to keep the next steel barrel in order to take down a stupid clump that's right near the that's right near the very ledge, which is not that clump but a different type of clump, and I stupidly enough took down the zingers instead of being able to keep that. Took down the zinger instead of being able to keep it, which is what I needed it. Which is where I needed the barrel the most for if I was Diddy Kong, because considering the stupid clump's right near the ledge and you can't roll into him very well with Diddy Kong. And yet I didn't time those random coal elevator shoot jump across very well. Thankfully enough, I was able to do it that time. And yes, if you're curious about these caves, that looks like that's what the Kremlings and King K. Rool are mining for when it comes to this region, is that they're mining for coal. And I got hit by one of those stupid zingers. They're so damn annoying. And I did it again. Thankfully enough, I finally get past that. I at last finally get past that, and I'm finally with a Kong character at last. Even though I lost Donkey Kong again. The tension is high as I try to time my jump correctly on this tire and try to take down this stupid and utterly damn annoying mini-necky. Will I do it? Yes, I did. And yet that level is completed, but thankfully enough, that is not one of the most annoying levels within the game, even though one of the most annoying levels in the game is now coming up, I have to say. And that's Poison Pond. Yes, this is one of the most annoying levels in the game. As I mentioned before, when it comes towards this level, when it comes towards underwater levels, you cannot kill off the underwater enemies. What makes this level so damn annoying is that sometimes there's a bunch of singular enemies that pop up out of nowhere at some points in this stupid level, making it even more harder to be able to time it correctly to dodge these underwater enemies. But not only that, another thing that makes it annoying is that, as you just saw, there's a new type of enemy, and yes, it is an enemy, even though it's another inanimate object. They are drills that are called mincers. Yes, mincers. As you see, the drills move on their own in a bunch of annoying patterns, and they actually are invincible, like rock crocs. Yes, mincers are invincible like rock crocs, so they can't be killed off. Anyway, they make for some very annoying, tough obstacles, considering you cannot touch them like underwater enemies, otherwise you're going to get yourself killed. Anyway, like I said, the really tough, annoying, stupid, mincer movement patterns while trying to swim underwater, and all these unexpected enemies that pop out here and there is what makes Poison Pond an utterly annoying level indefinitely, as you see by the many stupid damn times I get killed when it comes to this level. Heck, this underwater level is so darn long. For example, it actually takes quite a while in order for you to be able to reach the on-guard barrel, and even getting to the on-guard box, and even getting to the on-guard area is very tough in itself. Yet again, I get hit by another one of those stupid effing drills. Well, mincers, but they're pretty much just spike drills. And as I try to get past them, I get hit by one of those stupid Chomp Juniors. So I decide just to try and skip it with the on-guard box, but actually, frustratingly enough, you need on-guard to be able to make it a lot easier to get past all these stupid, unexpected underwater enemies. Anyway, I'd say that this is definitely not the most beautiful of the underwater environments due to the fact there is a slight bit of a foggy color in this one, and as you see, there's the green background in this too, probably to try and represent that of course the pond is polluted due to the fact that it is in an industrial area. Considering that, of course, as you can clearly tell, the Kremlings are supposed to be bad guys and have no respect for and are supposed to have no respect for the environment in regards to many of their different mining and factory processes, aside from stealing bananas. But anyway, this definitely gives Donkey Kong another good reason, aside from retrieving his banana hoard, to get rid of the Kremlings when it comes to his island. And yet they have to include an utterly frustrating pain in the ass area here, where you have a whole bunch of damn bite sizes that are swimming here, and bite sizes are actually piranha based enemies. I am just so fortunate though that I got past those stupid drills so I could get on guard this time. As he makes the last half of this level a lot easier, but still, even on guard can't take down these drill enemies. Like I said, they're invincible. And yet again, I get hit by one of those stupid drills. And it happens yet again. And I've lost more lives in this level than I have in all of the other levels yet. I'll say one thing about the original Donkey Kong Country. For some reason, the controls just don't respond as well as they should at some points when it comes to your controller and for the game in general. I don't know why, but anyway, on to the next Cranky Kong segment.
This here's Rhino Country. You can find the fun and ropey rampage between a rock and hard place. On guard, the swordfish will help you get straight to the point. That's all the advice you'll get from old Cranky Kong right now. I know the last part wasn't right now, but I couldn't really read the last of the text because it went too fast. Anyway, this is the other minecart level I'm talking about, and what makes this level a little bit more unique is that you have actually the high up in the sky scaffolding, actually. So that will make things a lot more interesting. Anyway, you're probably curious, what are those critter enemies in the minecarts? Well, it's not too hard to understand. They're just a bunch of critters in minecarts, and the whole idea is that sometimes they'll actually just try to ram into you and be on the other track alongside with you, and their names are actually called crashes for some reason. Which I find is really strange, but yes, that's their name. They're called crashes, and they're just green critters that ride in minecarts. Actually, an interesting thing about this level is because you're jumping between so many minecarts in this level, and yet sometimes you can stupidly miss your mark, as you saw me do, and stupidly enough, the first time around, I didn't jump up into the bonus barrel in order to be able to reach it. And I stupidly missed my mark yet again, because I didn't jump up to that tire to reach the bonus barrel, but thankfully enough the next time about I do. But a unique thing about this level is that later on, you'll actually find out that there are actually crashes stationed in minecarts, and you actually had to jump right on top of their heads and steal the minecarts that they're in order to progress within this level. As it's an exhilarating experience, as I have to dodge all of these annoying singers, and in addition to that, I have to rocket into all these minecarts. Oh, can I accomplish this? Oh, yes, I think I can. Boing, 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 and the next bonus barrel. Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy! And thankfully enough, I accomplished the level. Alright, and now on to a level, the Final Factory themed level, and this actually has a pretty unique theme to it. This time about, the lights are going on and off, and I have to say one thing is for certain when it comes to the Kremlings and King K. Rool. They definitely need to fix their their lighting generator when it comes to this area of the factory. But yet the idea, as you can see when it comes to this level, is that the lights are are continually flickering on and off, making it just a little bit more difficult to see where the enemies are and to be able to see where you have to go indefinitely. And this is the reason why I have to say you need to know exactly where the cross position is when it comes towards this token area in order to be able to try and double your score as much as you can with On Guard the Swordfish. I am quite fortunate that at least I get a few lives out of this. Even though I could have gotten at least 4 lives, but unfortunately I lost track. Yeah, I lost track of the exact cross position in order to get into these secret water passages.
We're bouncing on the tires and trying to take down these enemies as we're trying to see what we're doing in the dark. And I don't get why I stupidly enough ran off that platform. And yet again, we're trying to see what we're doing while the lights are flickering on and off within this badly wired area of the factory. And here's yet another bonus area along with these easily collapsible platforms. Areas are not protected from the effects of the environment that you are in, or in this case, just the factory that Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong are in, and in this case, an oil factory actually. Most people are probably wondering, okay, and now, ride the metal keg barrel to the end, and actually reveal a bonus area in the process. I have to say that is disappointingly the last fun time in this entire game where you actually get to be able to ride on a metal keg barrel. Yeah, they don't actually appear. Yes, they don't actually appear in any other area of this game, disappointingly enough. But yet here we are. Yet here we are on to the next boss battle stage. And we are introduced to a giant skull with skull with crossbones type barrel that is actually summoning forth enemies yet again, like the smaller variety of these enemies. But this one can actually float in the air and tries to slam down on the Kongs. But it's not this. Yeah, but I have to say it's not actually the barrel that causes me to lose Donkey Kong, disappointingly enough. It is instead one of the stupid enemies that causes me to die. Yeah, one of these ever-enjoyable and stupid armadillo enemies. But thankfully enough, I took down the boss yet again. And here we are in the final level before we get to the final boss of the game. And I have to say in my honest opinion, they could have been a lot more creative when it comes to the Donkey Kong series, or when it comes to Rareware. They could have been a lot more creative with their final level in Donkey Kong Country. I mean, seriously, we already experienced plenty of mine-type... Yeah, we already experienced plenty of mine-type levels already, so I don't get why in the world they did it yet again for the final region. I really think it's just a rip-off level, in my honest opinion. Especially when you figure out what the boss is for this area too, which is yet again another just rip-off of the second area you experienced, only a lot harder. And yes, if you're curious, this is actually the hard region I was referring to. Anyway, this has been the Master Chief 1, and I will see you in part 3 and the final part of my Let's Play, so see you later.